Kina Bank announces purchase of ANZ retail and commercial business. BSP Vanimo to reopen for business after fire scare. And Simbu clans make peace after 40 years of fighting.
This is National EMTV News with Meriba Tulo.
A very good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is Monday's news. The Vanimo Bank South Pacific branch will be open for business tomorrow after it was almost burnt to the ground over the weekend. The bank's upper level was badly damaged after a supermarket next to it caught fire. The fire started in the Lucky Land supermarket on Saturday and spread through the entire shopping block within minutes. Quick response from the police, PNGDF and water trucks from the Vanimo Forest Products were able to contain the fire from spreading to the bank. Concerned individuals with no firefighting skills also helped to combat the fire. In a phone interview where Sepik Provincial Police Commander Moses Ipsagi told MTV News that it was a joint effort from the public and the authorities that kept the fire from spreading. Today, BSP, through their group retail manager Paul Thornton, announced an assessment is still being made on the extent of damage and an update will be posted soon. Thornton also confirmed that the bank's ATM services will be unavailable for an indefinite period. However, customers can access their accounts through FPOS terminals in various retailers in Vanimo. Meanwhile, PPC Ipsagi said investigators will be tasked to investigate the cause of the fire. Vanimo town is one of few towns in the country that has no fire station for both public and aviation fire emergencies. Stanley Over Jr., National EMTV News. Minister for National Planning Richard Maru announced today that the government is assisting PNG Power to connect electricity from Vanimo to Wutung in the West Sepik province. Minister Maru, who was in Vanimo recently, said it will be an historic arrangement and for the first time PPL will consider buying power from Indonesia, which will be confirmed through a power purchase agreement. The 42-kilometer project is estimated to cost around 5 million kina, from which 1.5 million kina has been released to purchase transmission lines. The first phase of the project is to connect Vanimo to Lido village and the Wutung village to the border and customs facility. The government is appealing to landowners to be cooperative in this initiative of lighting up the west coast of Vanimo for the first time since independence. The project will start next Monday. Two sub-clans in the Kirawagi electorate in Simbu province have made peace after more than 40 years of fighting. The peace ceremony was held over the weekend, witnessed by the local MP, Barry Palma. The locals promised not to resort to tribal fighting to solve issues.
Community leaders, the local MP, Catholic Church and the police were present to witness the peace ceremony between the Dampakanam and the Ukumkanam sub-clans of Kumai tribe in Kirawagi electorate. The recent peace ceremony is the sixth to be held to end the tribal fight in that area. Kirawagi MP Barry Palma urged his people to change their attitude for services to reach them.
No, come maintaining this peace because the foundation where people like walking walk. Must get peace. Law and order must have. Harmony must have. Order must have.
In Simbu culture, drinking sugarcane during a peace ceremony is a customary exercise to show peace between two warring groups.
Give sugar. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
The two sub-clans drank sugarcane and promised to stop fighting and embrace change. The two clans have fought the fight of their ancestors over land disputes. The tribal fighting has caused the closure of police station at Coop LLG, health posts, schools and other government services. Local leaders say they have realized that this fighting has seen them missing out on government services. They promised not to fight their forefathers' fight and have urged their elected leaders to bring basic services again.
Now, before this like can all service bakam lo Coop mibla nidim police lo stop lo maintain him law and order. Then pa no got fight. When him lili trouble like come up, all police pa stop lo grounds all ba move.
Simbu Provincial Police Commander Jacob Singura also urged the local MP and the governor to help build a police station in that area to curb law and order problems. Meanwhile, educated elites have also been urged to return to their communities and educate their people of issues and ways to resolve problems. The Catholic Mission, which is popular in the COOP LLG, have done awareness, but what is needed is the support of everyone. Simbu Provincial Government Rep Stephen So shared the same sentiments as Palmer and urged locals to look for other avenues to solve their problems rather than resorting to tribal fighting.
Government service, people back up with him. Government people ready look, I'm giving you blood service. But you don't understand good how by people come in time you got fight long house land you me.
Vasinata Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
The National Department of Health and the World Health Organization today confirmed that there is an outbreak of poliovirus in a community at Morbe Province, where the virus was first detected in April this year. The one confirmed case is a 6-year-old boy with lower limb weakness and a vaccine-derived poliovirus type 1, had been isolated as the cause of the paralysis on the 21st of May. On June the 22nd, the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention confirmed that the same virus was also isolated from stool specimens of 2 healthy children from the same community in Lufa Mountain Settlement. Outbreak response activities are ongoing in Morbe Province, while experts from the Health Department, provincial health authorities and WHO have conducted field missions to undertake clinical investigation, house-to-house surveys, sample collection and contact tracing. Papua New Guinea has not had a case of wild poliovirus since 1996, and the country was certified as polio-free in the year 2000, along with the rest of the WHO Western Pacific region. A crab vendor at Koki Fish Market from Gulf Province was murdered in cold blood this morning by his relative. According to the Koki Market Revenue Clerk, who was at the scene this morning, the murder was not related to the market. It is believed that the deceased had stopped a fight between 2 of his relatives the night before. In frustration, one of his relatives involved in the fight used a machete and hacked the man to death while he was asleep at around 7 a.m. this morning. The suspect, after committing the crime, surrendered himself to police, and the matter is now with the Criminal Investigative Division at Boroko.
This line no metablo market. This line one emol wakil house front lonolet lili korosol wakil lab. Morning loga mitla market line to surprise where Spakman em come em sleep stablem narapla biru ablem come em just cut him right on the spot. So lo Koki market yet fish market em safe no garon the something em run lo market em operate. So now yet em install and lo family em all yet.
Here with National EMTV News, we go for a break now and be back with more of the day's top stories after these messages. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the news. To our top story now, and the retail banking sector in Papua New Guinea looks set to change significantly in the near future, with Kina Bank today announcing their acquisition of ANZ PNG's retail and commercial banking business. In an announcement to the markets this morning, Kina Bank had entered into a binding sales and purchase agreement to acquire ANZ PNG's retail and commercial SME banking business. Kina Bank, a subsidiary of Kina Securities Limited, today announced that they had entered into a binding sale and purchase agreement for ANZ's retail, commercial and SME business in PNG in a deal worth 24.2 million Kina. Through this deal, Kina Bank will acquire ANZ's business comprising its retail customer deposits and loans, commercial and SME customer loans and deposits, ANZ PNG's retail branch premises, relevant employees and ATMs and FPOS terminals used by ANZ PNG. The acquisition, scheduled to be completed in Q3 of 2019, will see Kina increase its retail banking market presence to 21 branches, 82 ATMs and over 1,800 FPOS terminals. According to Kina CEO Greg Pawson, the acquisition is a great development for the group and for Kina Bank, as it improves Kina Bank's market position in retail and commercial SME banking, provides the scale to invest in new banking capabilities, expands Kina's distribution network, enhances Kina's liquidity to support funding future lending growth, and be strongly accretive to Kina's earnings. Commenting on the deal, Pawson said completing this acquisition represents a key component of their refreshed 5-year strategic plan. The strength and capabilities that the acquisition will enable will allow Kina to better deliver on their purpose of empowering their customers and communities to have financial independence and security. Further, the acquisition reflects Kina's aspirations to be a dynamic, progressive and accessible PNG financial services group. Meanwhile, ANZ has also announced the deal to sell its retail, commercial and SME business to Kina Bank to allow it to focus solely on institutional and large corporate banking in the market. The decision is in line with ANZ's simplification strategy, while also supporting customers with trade and capital flows in the region. According to ANZ Managing Director, Institutional Australia, Graham Turley, they remain committed to running a world-class institutional and large corporate banking business in PNG, where they see great opportunities for growth. ANZ has been in the PNG market uninterrupted for more than a century and says it continues to have a positive outlook for the PNG economy. The country's competition watchdog, the ICCC, has also commented on the announcement today, with ICCC Commissioner and CEO Paulus Ain confirming that they have met with both banks, who he says have given their undertaking to comply with provisions of the Independent Consumer and Competition Commission Act 2002 and make the appropriate application for the ICCC to review and assess the potential harmful effects the proposed acquisition might have on competition. The ICCC has further confirmed that they are working with the parties to ensure they comply with the ICCC Act, adding that if they go ahead without an approval from the ICCC has the powers to investigate and take appropriate actions if deemed necessary. Completion of this transaction is conditional on both ANZ PNG and Kina Bank securing regulatory approval. With that process now underway, the acquisition is expected to be completed during the third quarter of 2019. Tulay and the Busu Secondary School in Leh is preparing for its open day on July the 6th. This event will allow the students to showcase the skills taught to them inside the classroom. The purpose of the exhibition is to help the school raise funds to build a 4-in-1 teacher's house. The school has partnered with 21 organizations in Leh, including the University of Technology, to help make the exhibition effective.
Engage 8 or 9 institutions and companies like Panamex and Balo Industry. We have FRI, and our students, they came and talked to our students already, and our students will go to those institutions and get more insight of these institutions, and they will come back, and during the exhibitions they will talk, they will feel confident enough to talk to our parents during the exhibition. Apart from that, our collaborating partners, they also were very pleased with the way we are organizing this exhibition, and they said that's what they have learned, our students are learning, what they are learning in the classroom will be showcased outside.
22 primary school inspectors from the 9 districts of Morbe and a few lecturers from the Balop Teachers College today began their 5-day workshop on standard-based curriculum at the college in Leh. The curriculum replaces the outcome-based curriculum and was rolled out at the elementary level 5 years ago. The senior education officers from the division and a lecturer from Balop Teachers College will train these inspectors, who will then roll out the training to all primary school teachers within Morbe province.
The one-week school break of Term 2 in Morbe province brought these inspectors to Leh to be trained on the standard-based curriculum. 2 senior officers from the Education Division and a senior lecturer from the college will train these inspectors, along with 4 other lecturers from Balop Teachers College.
This workshop, we target the lecturers who will continue to keep the sustaining of the program through the lessons in the college, so that the graduates of teachers' colleges are well equipped with skills and knowledge.
One of the lecturers from here went over to Goroka yesterday to do the training there, because the 260,000 kina they gave us from the Department of Education has to be shared here and with Goroka.
This is the initiative of the Education Department that aims to have all primary school teachers trained on SBC. For Morbe Province, the division aims to have all primary school teachers of the 9 districts trained during their Term 3 school holiday in September.
Then the information about the standard-based curriculum will drip right down to the school level, and all our primary teachers will be well versed with the new standard-based curriculum, and they will be able to teach effectively the curriculum.
The standard-based curriculum replaces the outcome-based curriculum SBC was rolled out at the elementary school level 5 years ago. The senior school inspector for basic education in Morbe, Nakuli Tangui, says the division will focus on sustaining this curriculum by conducting school-based in-service for teachers.
We got a district education manager and we got 2 inspectors back at the district. So they'll make sure that every term there's a school-based in-service running and there's a PIST week, provincial in-service training week, as well as district-based training. So that it is a continuous training to make the content of the new syllabus very clear to our teachers.
The teachers' guidance syllabus on SBC are available for training of these school inspectors. Mr. Tangui has called on the higher authorities to support this program and make it work in the province.
This is a government agenda and we want the LLGs to chip in to fund the district rollout. We want the provincial governor to fund it. We want the provincial administration to fund it so that the rollout will become very effective and there will be no failed curriculum like OBC.
Julie Badui Owa, National EMTV News, Leh.
Innovative Agro-Industry PNG has been working in partnership with the people of Western Province and the Okteri Development Foundation to deliver a commercial poultry project in Tabubil since May 2017. This project has been in operation since early March this year. It aims to develop a foundation for modern commercial agriculture in the province. The egg and broiler production farm will cater for the local market and supply eggs and live birds to local communities and commercial clients in the region. Chairman Ilan Weiss says PNG has enormous potential for commercial agriculture and the key to long-term success lies in engaging meaningfully with local communities. All produce will be sold locally in Tabubil and Kiunga. The story of cocoa farming is an old story. While many farmers in cocoa-producing regions of the country are well versed with the planting, managing and harvesting, many now want to venture into new money-making opportunities. The Ngalanaka Cocoa Cooperative in East New Britain Province is one of a group of cocoa farmers that is going through a path to make that happen.
The Nangalaka Cocoa Cooperative in East New Britain Province is a role model partnership made up mainly of smallholder cocoa growers. The group began in 2012 with just 64 members, is now gaining new grounds, and like any other organizations, this small group has an objective that they want to achieve.
People need to get new interest farmers because people are like quality. Quantity. So market open.
At the cooperative's cocoa dryer, Gibson Ivepa, a member of the cooperative, is drying cocoa beans. It's only a few days left before they can package it to sell it to the exporter.
20 bags, we are launching one time. Okay, second sales, we plan 45 bags. Last week, we are selling.
For the senior members of the cooperative, it depends on group work that will help them achieve their goal.
You do other things, but you prioritize this project because people put them into priority.
The Cocoa Board of Papua New Guinea has been encouraging farmers to be self-reliant, and with contributions from other cocoa-oriented organizations like the PNG CCI and PPAP, there have been positive results. 3 months ago, the cooperative made its presence known by selling about 20 bags of quality cocoa to a local exporter. This was a breakthrough for the group that they have achieved so far. But that is not all. The group is now looking at partnering with other organizations to create an export market where they will export their cocoa directly to an overseas buyer. In the past, cocoa farmers sell their cocoa to a buyer, but organizations like Cocoa Board and its partners are telling farmers that they will change that. They want farmers to take ownership of their own produce so that they can be at a better position to dictate the price of their cocoa. On Friday this week, the Cocoa Board of Papua New Guinea will launch its sister company called the PNG Agriculture Company, a company that will be owned by the ordinary farmers themselves. This will be a stepping stone for the Nangalaka Cooperative to tap into to achieve their goals. Edwin Fidelis, National EMTV News, Kokopo.
Here with Monday's news, we go for a break now, but stay tuned. We take a look at stories making headlines overseas when we come back. Welcome back to National EMTV News. Turning overseas now, Zimbabwe's president has survived an explosion at a campaign rally. The attack came as the country prepares to hold its first post-Mugabe presidential election. The country's state media is calling it an assassination attempt.
Wearing his trademark scarf in the colours of the nation he leads, in some eyes so controversially, this was a close escape for President Mnangagwa. In the smoke and confusion, he was ushered to safety, apparently unscathed. But there were injuries to senior government figures, including the wife of his deputy. The president met her and other survivors and on social media said, "We will not allow this cowardly act to get in our way as we move towards elections. The strongest response to violence is peace." Mnangagwa came to power in November when the military moved against Robert Mugabe, Zimbabwe's leader since independence. Many called it a coup, so a keenly contested election next month is vital to confer legitimacy on a new government. Mnangagwa had been addressing a rally in the second city of Bulawayo, an opposition stronghold. Some will blame the blast on rogue elements in the old regime. Certainly, Zimbabwe's path to democracy is now fraught with danger.
An underground supervolcano is drawing visitors to Yellowstone National Park. The underground volcano has been erupting over and over again, producing a spectacular water show.
Yellowstone is as beautiful as it is unpredictable. More than 3,000 square miles of hot springs, mud volcanoes, and of course, geysers. Here goes. Old Faithful may be the park's most famous. But Steamboat is now grabbing the spotlight as the world's largest active geyser.
We see gas emissions, we see all kinds of thermal activity. That's what Yellowstone does. It's one of the most dynamic places on Earth.
Steamboat has erupted 10 times in 3 months. Prior to that, it erupted just 10 times in 27 years. But volcanologists like Wendy Stovall don't know why there's now so much activity at Steamboat.
I think when people start hearing that, you know, Steamboat geysers going off, in the back of their mind they think, oh my gosh, what if the big one happens?
Right. There's been a lot of hype about the super volcano of Yellowstone and the potential for a super eruption.
Because this geyser field at Yellowstone National Park lies on top of an active volcano with multiple chambers of magma from deep beneath the earth, an explosion means lava flows could cover several states. The explosion would send ash clouds as far as Chicago, Seattle, and Los Angeles. The good news, the last one happened 70,000 years ago.
There's no evidence that we can see from all of the monitoring equipment that we have that there will be a super eruption anytime soon.
But that doesn't stop volcanologists from collecting data on the Yellowstone plumbing system, a 50-mile wide magma field. Scientists also monitor 28 seismographs stationed throughout the park because a supervolcano would include major earthquake activity. So far, nothing indicates danger.
If people are worried about that happening in their lifetimes, I think they may be focused on the wrong sorts of things.
So even without a supervolcanic blast, there's a super interest in science.
This is amazing. This is a nerd's paradise.
Is this like your Super Bowl?
Yes, yes. This is so much better.
An American singer botched the New Zealand national anthem before the Kiwi test against England in Denver. Some commentators have called it the worst rendition of the anthem at a sporting event.
This isn't how our national anthem is supposed to sound.
Well, that would have to just about go down as the worst rendition I've ever heard of the New Zealand national anthem at a sporting event.
American singer Crystal Collins confused fans when she fumbled her way through both the English and Māori versions of God Defend New Zealand. It sounded more like a rendition of Good King Wenceslas.
When the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even,
hear our voices sweet. Moses Mackay sung the anthem at the All Blacks test last night. That's how it should be done, but every singer worries that it might not have sounded as good as they thought.
I woke up this morning and I had a flurry of messages on Instagram, Facebook, and people were just saying, you have to watch this. And because I just did the anthem last night, it was still fresh. And I thought, oh God, they're watching me.
Former Black Cap Scott Styris described it as priceless, and so rugby league with the hashtag #LoveIt. Other Kiwis were more outraged. Moses Mackay says it's with good reason.
It's not her song, it's our song. It's New Zealand's song. And so if someone gets it wrong, it's like getting your own song wrong.
In short, get it right.
Cape Town's water shortage woes may have eased for now, but the rain brought its own problems at the final test between South Africa and England.
Pumped up for the pre-match festivities, 3 Zulu impi dancers weren't prepared for this. At a very wet Newlands Rugby Stadium, the barefoot impis struggled to stand up and kept slipping over. The treacherous conditions ended up being in favour of England's players, who are well versed in soggy weather.
And that story takes us to Trukai Sports. Up next after these messages. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. 50 netball associations in the Hiri district in Port Moresby have gathered to celebrate the official opening of a netball festival that will run for 5 days. The aim of the event is to promote and revive traditional relationships and develop friendship through sport. Godwin Eki reports.
The opening ceremony brought together netball enthusiasts, young and old, from 13 netball associations. It started off with a procession from outside the netball courts as teams made their way into the hall. The procession was led by Gaire Village, calling themselves the Green Machine, while Team Barakau marched behind, shoeless with orange tops and traditional woven hats. To celebrate the festival, selected villages presented traditional songs depicting stories of the Hiri trade and exchanges between the central and Gulf villages to revive traditional relations and to develop friendship.
I would also like to encourage each and every one of you players to play to your best as selections and be selected to represent the national championships in Leh, our electorate.
She says while there are many unexposed talents in the villages, the event is part of helping young netballers showcase their talents and develop their skills to new heights. Seeing young players grow to become better players is also at the forefront of the Hiri Netball Association.
Today is a very big chapter in our electorate and in all our villages. What I want all of you to take back to your home, Baraka Walam, Kairo Lam, Tupasero Lam, Eva, Laku Feva, and West Koyaris, must take back this message. Central Province is not what it was. Central Province is now an LNG province.
The tournament kicked off today with young players competing in their divisions from under 13s to 15s, under 17 and under 21, while seniors competed in the Masters division. The Hiri Netball Festival was officially opened by Se Moyavi. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
And don't go anywhere, we'll have more of Trukai Sports after these messages. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. To Rugby League now, New Zealand coach Michael Maguire is hoping to take the Kiwis back to America next year. But he'll be hoping for a better result after his side collapsed in the second half to lose 36-18 to England in front of 19,000 fans in Denver.
A botched national anthem, followed by a botched kick-off.
Straight away, it's gone too deep.
Rugby League's foray into the American sports market off to an inauspicious start. That was one of 3 kick-offs that went dead as altitude and 31-degree heat took its toll.
It was pretty tough.
to be perfectly honest.
Silly errors plagued the Kiwis, but for the most part this was a strong showcase for the game. It had big hits, a bit of aggression and 9 tries. The first extra special for debutant Essen Masters.
There's a player on the inside, it is Essen Masters, and Masters scores for the Kiwis.
Scoring my first try on my first test is pretty amazing for myself, and you know, you sort of dream for those moments.
Masters, in fact, was the best on the park for the Kiwis in a dominant opening 20 minutes.
This time they're not going to blow it. It's Watani Zalesniak.
But their 12-0 lead quickly evaporated as England fought back and took control of the match.
And a big pass to Hall, and I think Ryan Hall has scored in the corner.
Unfortunately, at the back end of that first half, completion rates dropped, which then increased the missed tackles. The pressure on us, just became strong.
England's class shone through after the break, but the match sets up a tantalising 3-test series between the nations at the end of the year, while both teams are urging greater support of future American tests.
I think it'd grow if we're able to bring ourselves further into the American market.
Well, the game needs to recognise the importance of it. You know, if we don't have a global product, we're not going to have a product in 20 years. Okay? Sport's changing that quickly.
League's global bid not hurt by today's entertaining spectacle in Colorado. In Denver, Simon Hampton, News Hub.
To the Football World Cup now, and from seismic celebrations to epic fails, the opening round of the Football World Cup has had a bit of everything. There's been no shortage of emotion as the world watches on.
Diego Maradona keeping a watchful eye on Argentina. Pity there wasn't much to celebrate. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to stop that.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Turns out it's not that hard to make a grown man cry.
But Brazil get their win.
Yes, a win. Someone tell Neymar that. There was no need to pump up Harry Kane's tyres. The Englishman so excited and he could not hide it. But there was a different type of buzz around Raheem Sterling.
Keep your hair in the air, swallow a few.
Maybe try keeping your mouth shut. If this guy took that advice, perhaps his girlfriend would have let him go to the World Cup with his mates. Instead, they've had to settle for a cardboard version. Knock knock. Who's there? Drama queen, that's who.
Two great centre-halves who understand the dark arts.
From the World Cup to the former Tongan goalkeeper and now All Blacks Lucy.
So what's been the toughest challenge for you this week?
Facing media.
Yes, it can be tough, but so can staying on the right side of the net. Trick shot, anyone?
Oh my word, has he won it? He has.
If you think that's good, how about this beauty?
Oh, what a catch!
And on that note, if you're looking for a new profession, Crystal Collins, you'd make a great butcher.
One of the landmark events on the British sporting calendar this month is the Royal Ascot. It's the horse racing's prestigious Gold Cup.
The Queen's daily attendance, as well as high fashion and of course big hats, are what makes Royal Ascot so famous. However, out on the track, it's seen as horse racing's World Cup, with the action as competitive as it comes.
Well, for many people, the highlight of the 5-day meeting is the Gold Cup, which is run on Thursday. It's a favourite not just because of the rich history of the race, but also because it's run over the unique distance of 2.5 miles. Like Yates, who famously won the race 4 times, the favourite this year is also trained in Ireland by Aidan O'Brien. Order of St George is looking to reclaim his crown, having won the race in 2016.
However, he faced 8 rivals, with the young pretender at 4 years old, Stradivarius, the big danger.
They're off. Stradivarius got out of the starting gates very strongly.
With the marathon distance ahead of them, the runners settled into a comfortable early pace. Turning for home, the main contenders were lining up, and with 400 metres to go, Frankie Dettori in the black colours asked Stradivarius to quicken.
Stradivarius, the yellow cap, Vasirabad in the green colours. Frankie Dettori on Stradivarius, Christophe Soumil on Vasirabad. Stradivarius is narrowly in front, he leads by a neck or so. Stradivarius has won the Gold Cup. Second is tight, Vasirabad and Torsador together, 3 or 4 lengths behind those to Order of St George.
we had to fight till the line. The horse was very brave, and well done to the Gosden team and the owners, Mr. Nielsen and Stradivarius. He did all the running for me. It was a magic day, and to get the 60th and being presented a cloth by the Queen, and I mean, you couldn't write it. It was amazing.
It was a first Gold Cup victory for trainer John Gosden, but for Dettori, he was receiving the trophy from Her Majesty for a 6th time, as well as a special number cloth to mark his 60th Royal Ascot winner.
And that's it for Trukai Sports. Up next, the weather details for the next 24 hours. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
A look at the weather forecast now for the next 24 hours. We begin in the southern region, mostly fine for Port Moresby with a top of 31 degrees. 31 degrees and some drizzle and rain expected in Daru. 31 and cloudy expected in Kerama, Alotau and Popondetta. To the Momase region, some rain and drizzle expected in Leh with a top of 31. 28 and some showers expected in Wau. Some rain and showers expected in Madang with a top of 31. 31 as well with some thundery showers expected in Wewak. Partly cloudy for Vanimo with a top of 31. To the New Guinea Islands region, rain and showers in Loranga with a top of 31. 30 degrees and some showers and thunderstorms expected for Kaviang. Showers and 30 degrees for Kokopo and Rabaul. Rain and showers expected in Kimbe with a top of 30 degrees, 31 and some showers expected in Buka. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundia, Mendi and Wabeg, all these major centers can expect some rain and drizzle over the next 24 hours. A look at the forecast for small ships, but first there is a strong wind warning current for all coastal waters of Papua New Guinea, except for Bougainville waters and including the Coral, Solomon and Bismarck seas. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait and Daru to Kiwai Island to Yule Island, Kerama, Hood Point, Samurai Island, and waters of eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, waters of Samurai Island to Cape Vogel, Finschhafen, and waters of Manus and its western group of islands, and waters of New Britain to New Ireland seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters of Finschhafen through Vitius and Dampier Straits to Seasi Island to Long Island seas 2 to 3.5 meters. Waters of Long Island to Madang, Bogia, Wewak, Aitape, Vanimo to the northern PNG Indonesian border seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters, and waters of Bougainville seas 1 to 1.5 meters. And a look at the ocean forecast for PNG areas. Coral Sea sees rough with southeasterly winds at 25 to 34 knots. Solomon Sea sees rough with southeasterly winds at 25 to 34 knots. Bismarck Sea sees rough with southeasterly winds at 25 to 34 knots as well with gusts. And the Pacific Ocean sees slight with northeast to southwesterly winds at 10 to 15 knots.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
And that's the news, sport and weather for today, Monday the 25th of June 2018. On behalf of the entire EMTV News team, pleasant viewing. Good night.